All right. What?
She said, no.
For real.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta say, oh, hell no.
Third Dimension Production.
What's going on, brother? It's been a minute, man. We haven't recorded
Oh man,
in a
nothing.
long time, man.
Yeah, it's been about 2 months. You know what I'm saying?
Damn,
You
it
had
been that long?
It's been about 2 months. You know what I'm saying? You had went to Africa. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Was gone for a little while. You was
I've been
living it
for a
up out
while.
there,
Yeah,
but
yeah, man.
ain't really much been going on. I just been uh, trying to focus on getting things in 2020 right. Trying to start
Right.
off. I feel like I kind of started off slow,
Mm-hmm.
but trying to catch up. You know what I'm saying? January has been a long ass month, but
What are you telling?
I
What are
thought
you
I was the only
telling?
one felt like that. This shit feel like it's been forever.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the next month to come and spring to hit so that sun can come and show his beautiful face.
I feel that.
Yeah. But yeah, man, Africa was amazing, man. It was definitely a trip of a lifetime. Just being out in Ghana and for that event, the year of the return, it was beautiful just seeing like folks from the states, black people from diaspora, um, South America, Central America, the UK. I mean, it was just black people everywhere, man. I mean, a lot of folks from the states, definitely came out. It was a lot of folks from the East Coast. Met a couple people from Portland too,
Damn.
surprisingly. I mean, I knew a couple that were actually already going, but I had met some other folks who happened to be from Portland, or I guess they're from Oregon. I think one was from like Lake Oswego, but they try to claim Portland because
Yeah,
no one don't want to claim Lake Oswego.
I feel you.
But yeah, so it was cool. I was connecting with a lot of people, talking with them, and man, just venturing out. I went to Cape Coast, went to the castle, where they had took the folks from that area in Ghana and you know put them on the boats and had them go over to the Americas, and they were just explaining the whole story and the passage of that, and the conditions that they were in the dungeons. Like there was no light, and it would get like sweltering hot, just from that heat just emanating in that room, and people would like die, and they had folks that was piled up on each other and defecating on themselves, vomiting. I mean, the whole 9 yards, man. It was just sick. And then I think there was a dungeon in there where there were like people that were actually like scratching, like they were scratching like what I'm saying, the concrete floor because they
Mm-hmm.
didn't know what else to do. And so I think there was some writing in there to where they had like a message and stuff. I can't remember what the message was, but I mean it was just crazy. Like the worst, I feel like the worst story was what they did to the women in the slave dungeons.
Yeah.
They would pick the women in there, and they would get them dressed up and feed them. The master would feed them, clean them, and then of course rape them.
Mm-hmm.
And then if she was showing signs of being pregnant, they would automatically kill her. Slit the throat. I mean, slit the stomach, take the baby out, throw him into the sea. Or if she was already on the boat
Mm-hmm.
and she was showing signs of being pregnant, they would do the same thing and just toss her over the boat, feed her to the sharks.
Damn.
Yeah, her and the baby.
You learned all this doing like a tour or something?
Yeah, it was a tour. Yeah, it was a tour.
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man, it was definitely gut wrenching, stories that I was hearing though. But um,
This was in. So this was in Was this in Ghana or was this somewhere
This
else?
was in this is in Cape Coast, so it's like central part of Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where all did you go?
Um, I was in Cape Coast. I was in another part of Accra, or I wouldn't say it was Accra, but it was just like other small towns. You know how they have like Beaverton, Lake Oswego, Westland, and Tiger, and all that. So where I was at was kind of like, I guess like being out in Beaverton. It was called La Paz,
Mm-hmm.
and then that was kind of far out, even though it was about like maybe like 6 miles away from like the city of Accra. Um, it just takes forever to get to like one destination one from one destination to the next because they don't have really good infrastructure out there. They don't have
Mm-hmm.
highways.
Yeah.
A lot of the roads are unpaved or they have potholes and stuff. And so trying to navigate through like the city or going into the city,
Mm-hmm.
it can take about like 30 to 45 minutes, and it'll be like you know 2 miles away.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I came to find out that I was only like 6 miles outside of like the actual like city,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like almost like an hour drive. So I ended up going into Danzamon roundabout, which is a little bit closer into Osu, which is like the capital of Accra.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I was staying with a friend of mine. Um, Actually, it was one of my homeboys who lives in Portland, who is Ghanaian. And
Yeah.
so he told us like, hey, like I got my homeboy that's closer in. You guys can stay with him. And so we stayed with him. It was cool. We had, AC, which was a
Crucial.
blessing. It was a blessing having that. And then we had internet service. Don't get me wrong, the place that we were staying at in La Paz was cool. Actually, it wasn't La Paz. It was, I think it was called the Golden something. It's like a new area, but it was cool though. It was just hella far away.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool. But man, I had like a very authentic experience. I even had to like wash my clothes and stuff in the little buckets.
Yeah.
My cousin was like, what I'm saying, hitting it up with the soap and stuff.
Grinding.
Right.
Grinding.
So it was cool. It was a cool experience though. Just to say that, I did that, and we walked to the store. Got food for dinner and everything. We was out in the city, out in the markets. Um, Man, we was like in the nightlife and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very vibrant. What I'm saying, just people out in the streets. Listening to music or karaoke or having drinks, just socializing. And it was just really safe.
Yeah.
I felt I felt like I can let my guard down, like be vulnerable. And then on top of that, man, like you feel like you're one of them too. They acknowledge me as being Ghanaian,
Mm-hmm.
or they be like brother, or what I'm saying, you're African too. Like just those like little things right there, man, just made you want to feel more connected to like what I'm saying, the continent of
Yeah.
Africa. You know, and so
Okay.
that was just like what I'm saying, just real big and eye opening for me because I know most most well I wouldn't say most, but some African Americans who actually want to be connected
Mm-hmm.
don't really feel embraced by Africans that are here in the States.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily get recognized as being African sometimes. And so that can be a little disheartening, and also that can cause for, what I'm saying, just relational issues with, African Americans and Africans just trying to connect
Yeah.
and, feel like, we're one. Because, we all are one, what I'm saying? We're all African.
Mm-hmm.
We were just, our ancestors were just taken from the lands and brought over to Americas.
Yeah.
That's the only.
All right. So, Afrochella. How was Afrochella?
It was an experience, man. I didn't really know what to expect, going to Afrochella. When I got there, I knew it was gonna be like, just this like real, big event, with different kind of acts, and I don't know if they were gonna have like activities. I knew it was gonna be like art and music and food and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but I low key was like going into it like thinking it was gonna be like something like Coachella. But
Okay.
it was definitely nothing like Coachella, and I don't think they were really trying to like make that uh, comparison necessarily.
Yeah.
Um,
Just probably the name probably
just
just
probably
worked.
the name, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
the
yeah,
name
yeah.
worked, so hey, the fuck, let's do it.
Exactly. The name was definitely trying to, attract people to come and attend. But when I got there, I mean, it was cool. One thing, like I would say, hopefully for this year for Afrochella, because they are going to do it again this year, is that um, when they say it's going to open at this time, make sure it's open.
Yeah.
And when people get there, make sure everything is set up because whoever was on logistics,
No, wasn't it? Huh?
it just wasn't it.
Oh, that sucks.
But overall, man, like it was a good experience. You know what I'm saying? Like I probably wouldn't go back. I would probably hit up like another event that they have during that because they had several events going on at the same time. I would have probably went to Dirty Rave,
Okay.
which was I heard was dope. It was kind of more like a mixture of Afrobeat acts, and then folks from the Americas that were performing as well too.
Okay.
So it was a nice little mix. I mean, they had that at Afrochella too, but they were like more smaller, unknown acts and stuff. Unless you've been like following, you know, them as underground, artists and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, that shit did look lit. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, damn, that
No,
shit.
I was lit. I mean, it was beautiful people out there, man. Like everybody was like, looking, fresh to death. I think, yeah, Boris. I had saw Boris Kojo.
Was he there?
Yeah, he was out there. And then I heard Beyonce's mom. She went to Afrochella as well too. One of my friends said they saw her and took pictures with her and stuff. And so it was a couple. It was a couple. Yeah, Ludacris. He was there too.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
it
so
was booming.
It was some folks up there. Though. There was definitely some folks up there though.
It was booming.
Yeah.
Like for real.
Yeah. But yeah, it was quite the experience, man. I mean, if you wanna, go check it out, I mean, do it. Get your own, perspective on it though. But personally, I wouldn't go to Afrochella again. I would probably go to some other event just to, see something different.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you already went, so you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I can say that I
You
experienced.
know what I'm saying? Go ahead and stun on them real quick. Like, I've been there. I done that, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got time for that shit no more.
Nah, but the food there was fire though. The food there was bomb. Yeah, Afrochella had bomb food.
What did you eat? Like,
What did I have? I
peanut
had
butter stew?
Nah, I had
That shit go hard.
I had jollof rice. I had plantains. I had some jerk chicken. I had cabbage, and something with some beans in it though. Man, I mean, every day I was eating some like bomb Ghanaian food.
Yeah.
If it wasn't jollof rice or um, some fried fish, or some banku, or some pepper stew or something like that. I mean, I was eating everything. Like the first place that we stayed at, kind of like out in La Paz, where I was like hella far away.
Mm-hmm.
The family that I was staying at, which was my homeboys, my coworkers' family, like they had someone cooking for us every day. Shout out to Teely. She was the bomb cook, man. We call her plates the Teely specials.
Mm-hmm.
They was on point.
So they was
man.
stacked, huh?
Man,
I ain't mad at that.
Yeah, it was fire though.
Okay, so and you came back. Did you adjust to American life well, or are
Hell
you
nah.
are you like what?
Hell no. I was like, man, I did not want to come back. Like on some real, I didn't want to come back, and yeah, it was just hard to adjust, man. It was hard to adjust just from not only being in Ghana, but I was also out in Egypt too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like went and saw the pyramids and I went up the Nile, to Luxor Temple, Karnak Temple, um, shoot, all the way, up to Abu Simbel, what I'm saying, to the more like Nubian, part of Egypt. I mean, just seeing all that stuff, man, it was hard, wanting to go back to America. 'Cause I'm like, man, I'm seeing like all these different things in Africa. Everything is like going on and stuff, and you know, we in America, we're not really exposed to that,
Yeah.
and then going to see it for yourself, it's like everything that they say about Africa is like, so far fetched.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. I mean, they have everything that you can, find in America. They have it out in Africa too.
Mm.
So it's like it ain't like people. What I'm saying, just walking barefoot. I mean, yeah, they do got people that walk barefoot, but I mean, they got folks that drive like cars in the Americas, foreign cars, nice cars and stuff. People that actually like have bomb ass jobs that make about $1 million, millionaires out in Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of them.
Yeah.
What I'm saying? I was out in the neighborhood over in East Lagoon,
And they was
which is kind of like more of the affluent area.
Yeah.
And I mean, they had big homes. Um, a guy that I had met on the airport on my way to Ghana, he was sitting next to me.
Mm-hmm.
He's from North Carolina. His name is Fred. Shout out to Fred. He took us to this area because he was showing us like his plots of land because he had invested land out there.
Yeah.
And so while we were like going towards Prom, that's the name of the area we were going to. As we were going there, he was showing us like all these $1 million homes. He's like, yeah, there's just people who buy the homes and like they come back to those homes because they either stay in like somewhere in the UK or maybe somewhere in the States, so they just come back to these homes when they want to visit Ghana and stuff. So
damn,
yeah,
that's long money.
Yeah, long money, man, long money.
Okay.
But yeah, man, like another thing too, I would, suggest people to go to Africa and try to invest in land, man, because that's one thing that my guy Fred was, definitely trying to get me hip to. He was like, buy you some land out there, bro. He's like, get you some land, try to build it from the ground up so you can have something out in Africa. And from my understanding and from what I was talking to as far as like the real estate, because I talked to some real estate agents about this too.
You trying to get on?
I was trying to get on. Me and my cousin is definitely trying to get on. Buying a plot of land, which is maybe a quarter of an acre, goes for like as less as 1,500
a month.
No, 1,500 for that plot of land.
Dollars?
Yes, 1,500.
Damn.
So think about like buying like an acre of land, which would probably be equivalent to about like 3,000.
Yeah.
So just you having your own land for 3,000, and then, from my understanding, like building it up from the ground up, because you gotta have gates and stuff around your house. Like most houses in Africa, they have gates or walls and stuff. And so you got to make sure you have that. Then you build everything else up from the ground up.
Damn.
Yeah. I think he was telling me it's about maybe like up to like 50,000 to 60,000 to build it up. That's not bad, though.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
All right. So the real question: do you feel enlightened?
Hell yeah.
Do you feel like, what I'm saying, like, in the belly, Nas was trying to get to Africa? You know what I'm saying?
I see why you're trying to get there because, like I was saying, man, it's a spiritual awakening if you're from the Americas and you go to whatever country that you plan on going to in Africa, and you're just going to just see people that look just like you.
Mm-hmm.
All different. They come in all different shades. My complexion, darker, or jet black. And they got similar styles to us too. I mean, they dress out there.
Yeah.
I mean, they dress from head to toe fly. and they hustlers, man. I mean, they up every day, out in the streets, or working for some major corporation, or or either working for a corporation in Africa or working for a corporation in Africa and also in another country.
Yeah.
So they out there grinding, trying to get it, but they want people, like us that have our own expertise and bring it out to Ghana as well too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was one of the things that they were trying to push for the year of the return is, for African Americans to come to Ghana and see what knowledge or resources you could bring to the country to enrich it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of like pushing them away, like, won't you come?
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, it's going to just make for a better economy out there, and also they want folks to also bring their knowledge of how they can better the infrastructure too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Dope. Well, man, yeah, that's tight. I mean, you was gone for a minute, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm glad you got to experience that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like one of these days I got to get out there myself. All right, so thanks for the Africa recap. You know what I'm saying? We're going to end it talking about legacy. You know what I'm saying? Well, we want, speaking of, Africa and things like that, how that legacy, the legacy of knowing you're African led you to go to Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So now, just like, what kind of legacy we gonna leave behind? You know what I'm saying? I know Kobe died last week. Had a lot of people, kind of messed up unexpectedly. You know what I'm saying? But that kind of stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? That's really your only debt you're gonna have to pay in life is death. So, he left a hell of a legacy. You know what I'm saying? So, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Not we and you, but like just whoever listening to this, you know what I'm saying? What are you doing to leave a legacy? You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of legacy you leaving for
your family,
for
yourself,
for people to remember you by?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I like as a young man, I never really thought about like that. But I had a cousin that died like in 2009.
Yeah.
And I remember his funeral was like the smallest funeral I ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, fuck, like I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to be remembered well. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well enough for people to want to, you know what I'm saying, show condolences when, when I pass on. So, yeah, so, I know the hip hop social worker and all these videos and content that I'm putting out, it's part of my legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like if unfortunately, if I had to go tomorrow, people can pull up the website and scroll down and and just see this kind of person I am, kind of person I try to be, the kind of influence I try to have, things like that. Yeah, Kobe, that shit hurt, but I feel like he got so much love because his legacy was phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? He just had so much like just I can't even explain it. You know what I'm saying?
I would just say from like just athleticism, I would say leadership, dedication, um, you know, hell, even him fighting, that case
Mm-hmm.
with the, allegations and stuff, and how, he was acquitted and he came out on top. And, him just also being like a great father.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know the man had that many damn kids.
Yeah.
He had 5, right?
4.
Or 4?
Yeah, 4.
Yeah.
So
all girls too.
All girls.
I've been stressing.
But I think like you mentioned that case. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that was a pivotal point in his career because before that case, Kobe's legacy was he's a selfish, crass young man. You know what I'm saying? But after that happened, and he got humble. You know what I'm saying? Humble for real. And he changed. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we see the man today. You know what I'm saying? Without those kind of obstacles. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't. And it's unfortunate that it had to go down like that. But I feel like it's important to mention that because that was a pivotal point in his life.
Right.
And I feel like he was gonna his legacy even though it was great, it wasn't done yet. I feel like his daughters are going to be his legacy. Well, they are, you
A
know,
legacy for
you know
sure.
what I'm saying. Like he still, there's one that died with him, in the crash, but he still has three more. You know what I'm saying, it's going to carry on his legacy. So, but yeah, so yeah, I just feel like in this world, you know what I'm saying, positive energy, really just being a good person. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of legacy I want to leave behind. Some like if somebody, like when that time comes, people look back and be like, oh, he was a stand up dude. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, he was a stand up guy. Um, he didn't do a lot of bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
if he said it, he was gonna do it, and he did it. So yeah, and it's being a person who's like an influencer. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You know what I'm saying? I made up my mind that I want to do a lot in social work more than
Right.
just sitting behind a desk.
Right. Right.
So,
Right.
I want, I really would like to be a person, like when people mention my name in social work classes, just like, just how to get excited for like, I forgot, I can't remember the names of these people that people get excited for when you mention them, but I want to be one of them people. So
Hmm.
that's what I want my legacy to be,
Well, I mean, you're doing that though. I mean, you're definitely doing that. I mean, I feel like when you mention hip hop social worker, it's synonymous with your name.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you're already what I'm saying, laying the foundation and putting the footwork in for your legacy already.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
I'm definitely, yeah, I'm definitely feeling it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But yeah.
Yeah. Like as for me, as far as a legacy, man, I just want to be a great example to my nieces. You know what I'm saying? From, as far as being uncle, dad, as far as being, a great, what I'm saying, black man, as far as, with just, traveling, being educated, um, being responsible, um, just an overall person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, I definitely want to, what I'm saying, leave a legacy for them. But, even for my unborn kid as well when that happens. Um, but ultimately, like I definitely want to leave a legacy for the community that I serve. The black community in particular.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you and I, we're doing that. You know what I'm saying? Just uh, doing a lot of groundwork as far as with this therapy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Doing this contract work for Horizon Counseling and YAP,
Yep.
and just going to events like the event that we had attended last year. Talking about mental health.
Yeah.
Just getting our names out there, and
I missed the one this year. I was mad about that.
they had one this year.
Yeah, but I couldn't make it. I had to
Oh, okay.
work.
I didn't even know.
I think he was out. I think he was out of the country.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. Oh, maybe next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I feel like we've been putting a lot of work in, uh, collectively and individually. I mean, even with this podcast, talking about black men and mental health. You know what I'm saying? Just having a different perspective on what mental health means to us, and just talking about our experiences and just the work that we're doing in the field and stuff. I think that's definitely going to be impactful for who's ever watching and listening. Hopefully we'll make a difference in a young black child's life, or just anybody else who's watching,
Mm-hmm.
um, that want to actually go into this field and just do something very impactful, very innovative and creative. You know what I'm saying? Because this is hella creative. I would have never thought about doing anything remotely like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just think that um, nothing happens, just out of coincidence. I believe in divine intervention, and I think what I'm saying, when you and I happen to be the only black dudes in the MSW program
There
at
was one more.
PSU, like we automatically was like what I'm saying, like, look, the black dude right there.
Yeah.
You know, my survival instincts are kicking in. I'm gonna go, talk to him
Yeah.
and just chop it up. You know what I'm saying? Just see where it goes from there, and it's definitely flourished into a good personal working relationship, and so
Hmm.
just continue to keep grinding and you know
That's real.
yeah
Well, man, I'm glad you're back, and let's get back to work.
yeah
2020. You
yeah.
know what I'm
Let's do it.
saying? It's a legacy year.
It's a legacy year for sure.
Legacy year.
On
It's a
so many different
It's the
levels.
legacy year, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
appreciate y'all for rocking with us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we'll have more content coming later on next month, month after that, month after that, month after that. You know, just
Gonna keep grinding it out.
for real. Peace.
All right, peace.